Hello everybody, it's Richard Hart here. I just want to let you know that the Pulsechain.com mainnet has launched and PulseX.com on that mainnet has launched as well. I hope you guys are all enjoying it. We waited a couple years for this and it's finally here.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another awesome day on Pulsechain. Woohoo! Day 331 is about to wrap up, and we're going to cover the end day results. We're also only 12 days away from the Bitcoin halving, and that's going to be mega bullish for Pulsechain, particularly I think in May. Let's see how that goes. But it's going to be fun times. You know, a year to shake out weekends and all that good stuff. So let's check up all the markets today. Get into that chat, make it lively. If you're new to either Hex Token channel, Superman Crypto, or Pulsechain X, subscribe to all those channels. Hit the like button on the way in. Let's see who's in the house. We got Sandy Beechin, nice and early. Hello, Hex Token, everybody. Good to see you, Sandy. And day 7 of the AB challenge for the month of April. If you guys remember, just the recap in February was the press up challenge. In March was the squat challenge, and in April is the ab challenge. And of course, Sandy Beach there is one of our awesome influencers on X social platform, doing health and fitness for the community and doing an amazing job. So a big shout out to Sandy there. That is the link. Don't forget to go give Sandy a follow. And of course, if you can participate in that, staying healthy and fit for crypto bull market, very important. You want to enjoy those gains with a healthy body. So definitely get into that. Big shout out to Sandy. All right, let's have a look. Let's go straight to the markets and see what's going on there. So it looks like we've got no stock market news today. Of course, it's the weekend, Sunday in the US. And of course, here in good old New Zealand, it is Monday, the 8th of April. And we've got Bitcoin here at $69,564, up 0.6%. We've got Ethereum, $3,461, is up 2.79%. And of course, out of the meme coins seem to be leading the charge here. We've got Dodge up 6.95% to 19.9 cents, almost 20 cents. Pepe there is up as well. What percentage is that? 9.9, almost 10% on Pepe. 507 there rounded. So pretty good stuff happening there. Even Floki is up as well. In terms of some of the other chains, second layers, Optimism is up 6.6%, $3.20. What else is doing pretty well? We've got Lido out of the DeFi. Lido is up 6.32 there. Not too bad as well for the staking. So, pretty green across the board. Kind of neat little levels here. Bitcoin dominance at 51.56% on the old BTC dominance. Let's jump closer into the Bitcoin. There, obviously, the title of the video is the Bitcoin halving in 12 days, mega bullish for Pulsechain. So obviously that's going to flood a whole ton of money into the ecosystem. If it follows any of the previous patterns, and of course this time, not only is it going to potentially follow the previous patterns of a mega rally, is that we've got the Bitcoin ETFs and potentially maybe a smaller chance, but the Ethereum ETFs potentially coming up in May as well. So it's pretty bullish. Let's see all that money flood through into crypto. And of course, typical wave is Bitcoin, Ethereum, the high caps, mid caps, alt caps, and all that sort of stuff. And of course, that flows into Pulsechain for the first bull market. So it's going to be fun to see that play out. Don't get fuddled away. Don't get too distracted. Things can turn around pretty fast on Pulsechain. And with a lot of that money slushing around, it's going to be pretty epic. And of course, we also got the magic carpet ride on Pulsechain as well. That would likely play out some stage. So maybe May onwards. Let's see. We've got Excellent Choice in the house there. Hey, Excellent Choice. Good to see you. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin halving, only 12 days away. And of course, we've been following this slowly and surely. Look at that. Woohoo, 12 days, including today. I think we're 5 minutes into a new day here. So yesterday, we had a high of 70,312, low of 68,846. So what's that? About almost $1,500 price range yesterday. And it looks like we just started a new day there right in the middle, bang in the middle at 69,248. As we get closer to the Bitcoin halving. It's going to be so much fun. Really, really is. So what are we going from 900 blocks a day down to 450 blocks a day for the Bitcoin miners. So less sell pressure. And of course, we've got more buy pressure from these Bitcoin ETFs and other institutions flowing into crypto, as well as the retail book slowly taking more interest all the time. Kind of neat there. Now, looking at Bitcoin allocation, who owns the Bitcoin? Well, this is as of February the 2024th. We've had a look at this one other time before, but we can see that we've got miners here. Let's go right to the beginning. We've got Satoshi, of course, or Patoshi here, sitting at 1.1 million BTC, 5.2%. That's wouldn't be crazy if that wallet moves. We've got miners here sitting at 714,000 BTC, around about 3.4%. And of course, with the Bitcoin halving in 12 days, these guys are going to get half as much new Bitcoin. So they're only going to get 450 Bitcoin rather than 900 a day. And so that's a lot less dumping down on the market potentially. Obviously, that also allows the price to rise and, of course, money to flow. And, of course, money flows through Bitcoin, flows through. A lot of that money ends up getting moved around as well. So that benefits all the other chains and crypto generally and lifts the general sentiment as well. So bullish for Pulsechain from that point of view. So and with a lot of assets underpriced, there's a lot of potential upside on Pulsechain that's going to be massive. So fun times. So 3.4% in the miners there. And yeah, I'm excited about it. We got what else we got here? Lost Bitcoin by estimation, 3.7 million Bitcoin. Did you know that? Yeah, it's a pretty big amount, about 17.6%. I reckon Bitcoin is lost. Maybe it's sitting in a UK dumpster. I don't know if you guys know that guy has been hunting his Bitcoin drive in the big rubbish tip in the UK there. I think it had something back at the day when I remember it had something like $250,000 in it, or £250,000. That's going to be way higher today, right? I don't know if he's still hunting for it in the rubbish tin. That was in the rubbish trip. He was having things with councils and all sorts of stuff, pretty crazy stuff there. Anyway, that's where it is. There's a lot of dust accounts and other things like that. So I guess people that have passed away and all sorts of stuff there. People lost their private keys. You know, it's lost Bitcoin estimation there. We got Bitcoin individuals. We got 57%. 11.97 million Bitcoin is sitting in individual wallets. So that could be you out there. That could be you out there. So something between 81 and 130 million individuals. Now, a lot of those people will have very small amounts. But anyway, 11.97 million Bitcoin in individual accounts, about 57%, which is not a bad allocation there. Now remember we got the business accounts here, 758,000 Bitcoin in business accounts, about 3.6% of the supply, give or take. And of course, getting up to the main event here, funds and ETFs. This is what's really been boosting the Bitcoin price up in this bull market that we've just started. 818,000 Bitcoin as at February. That's gone up slightly, 3.9%. So that is sitting in that dark, was it a sort of a dark green blue? I'm not sure, but that's sort of that's where that is sitting, 3.9. But that's actually gone up a little bit. So let's have a look at BTC held by Bitcoin ETFs. This is based on Galaxy Research, and it's up to the 10th of April. And we can see that, the allocations there, GBTC has been going down. So that's a bit of that sell pressure we've had and pullbacks on Bitcoin going down there. But IBIT, the BlackRock has been increasing. Look at that dark black. Yeah, good color, isn't it, for BlackRock? Dark black there. And that's been increasing quite a bit. The other one that's been doing well is FBTC, and of course also ARK. And of course we covered Kathy's video yesterday. If you haven't seen that, check out yesterday's video. That was with Poliano, and you can see in purple there, that is the next best one. So these are the 3 stars here at the moment as well. We've also got BITB there in yellow, doing pretty well. And then you can see a whole ton of the other smaller ones there making up the total. Now, how much is that sitting at? Pretty much that's sitting over 4% now. About 4.25%, somewhere in that ballpark, is the amount of Bitcoin now held by Bitcoin ETFs. Watch that figure. That figure is going to go up over time. So definitely keep a lookout for that. Who they're going to buy it off? Well, they've got to potentially buy it off big businesses here. And, of course, individuals are sitting with the bulk of it. And that's why individuals are going to get pretty wealthy in these bull markets going forward. Because, as you know, Larry Fink said from BlackRock, it's a flight to quality, flight that they're actually selling. So all these different Bitcoin ETFs are on their big Wall Street desks and wherever else they are around America, selling the Bitcoin narrative and store value. So it's pretty crazy. Now, I still think we're still in this gray zone between a speculative asset and a store of value. We're going to find out in time. Obviously, we've seen gold and silver move recently feels like the first time for a while, but this is going to be this interesting theme dynamic in the future. Yeah, so here we are. They can buy, the ETFs can buy it off businesses and individuals like yourself. You can give up your Bitcoin to these guys. and that's kind of where it is at the moment. Now, we've also got government BTC, right? Government BTC, 565,000 Bitcoin, 2.7. We know quite a lot of that's going to enter the market. That's been confiscated and other stuff like that. So that's definitely different, I guess, black swan events when it does. Not that people don't know it's there, but with the timing. But, timing is always the hardest thing in anything in finance and business and investment, and that could come out at any time. Now, how much left to be mined? About 6.6% of all Bitcoin is to be mined by 2141. And of course, I think it gets down to the last Satoshi. And of course, at the moment, that's about 1.38 million Bitcoin, slightly less than that. Of course, this is based on February. So that's what we're expecting to see there. And of course, the Bitcoin block emissions are going to be falling down, like we say, to about 450 Bitcoin a day. So fun times ahead out of that. So that's how much we've got left to go out of 21 million. There's about 1.38 million Bitcoin. So good times ahead. That leaves us with about, about 9.6, just over 19.6 million Bitcoin has been so far harvested by the miners there with the block rewards and things like that. So pretty cool. Bit of an honorable mention to Bitmaps out there. If you guys haven't gone to Bitmaps, Bitmaps kind of is like metaverse real estate for Bitcoin on ordinals. And of course, that's going to probably blow up as the metaverse gets a lot of protocols visualize that in the 3D world. People will be building on it, flying helicopters around, all sorts of stuff with the bitmaps. And it's still pretty early out there to get bitmaps. I think there is something around about $180 a bitmap now. They represent a Bitcoin block, right? So that's going to slowly grow in time as well. There's a bit of intel for you today. If you're not familiar with those, definitely check it out. And if you've got any questions, let us know. You can join our strategy club chat for that. All right, links in the video description for Discord. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. And as you can see, it's up and away. Look at that uptrend for the Bitcoin ETFs. It's up and away. So they're taking over crypto and they're going to pay for it. They're going to pay for it, right? They're going to pay you to sell your Bitcoin. You individuals, you businesses, you governments, if it comes to market, will all get redistributed. And you watch that. I guess it's turquoise, is it? That's going to grow in volume over time. Watch that one out. And it's only been around since the 11th of January this year. So early days. And it's going to be fun to see that play out. Now, that is Bitcoin. So only 11, 12 days away. As you can see, you guys are going to sell your Bitcoin to these ETFs. I guess some of you will. And, of course, hopefully that will make you feel better. Obviously, when you watch the chart keep going up, you'll go, oh, damn it, why did I sell so early? That's the way it goes, right? That's market for you. So that's kind of cool, Bitcoin ETFs. Now, the other one, of course, is Ethereum. Ethereum at the moment. We've got the well and truly above the 50-day EMA, which is pretty exciting to see. Obviously, Bitcoin is, but nice to see Ethereum has finally pierced back over the 50-day moving average. And, of course, that's $3,346 for the yellow line there, this current price. So everything's going up, and the 200-day moving up as well to $2,655. We're currently at $3,448. Not bad as well. We've flown past the Deacon upgrade. It's been about a month since then. And we're slowly heading, obviously, 11 days away from the Bitcoin halving, 12 days, including today. And then, of course, we're getting closer and closer to the Ethereum ETF, which is 44 days away, but probably a very, let's say, a modest to low chance of that approval, looking maybe 25% chance of that approval at the stage. Nothing's really coming out signaling a high approval level like that. We had 90% for the Bitcoin ETF, but around about 25% for this one. Now, and of course, after that, we've got the interest rate pivots as well, either June or July. And of course, we're looking probably around 60 to 70% respectively for those likely pivot of the interest rate. So that's kind of it with the old crypto. So lots of money coming into crypto and expected to after the halving. The first month after the halving, last bull market, we saw that was quite choppy and went down slightly. So maybe we might have that after the Bitcoin halving. And then after that, it was up to the races for the bull market after that. Which means that May onwards could be quite juicy, and that would also be a year since Pulsechain's launched. And as you know, Richard loves a year of weekends to be fudded out, and there we go, onwards and upwards after that. So hold on, folks. Accumulate. It's time to accumulate. Still there, and of course, let's see how we get on as we move post the Bitcoin halving into the full-on bull market. We're expecting some pretty big price targets for Bitcoin. And of course, anything from 150 to 180 all the way up to 240 for Richard Hart. He's got around 240. And then, of course, some people have it going as far as gold, which would be, 400,000 plus, probably 400 to $450,000, definitely in that zone per Bitcoin. And of course, some people like Kathy got even bigger, longer term targets of $1.5 million per Bitcoin. So it's just a matter of how long you hold and timing and things like that based on their bullish outlooks. But definitely a lot more money to flow into Bitcoin. It's early days, and therefore the rest of crypto. We got Pulsechain on day 331. We've got quadruple 0979 at the moment. That's still 2% below the sacrifice price. So some really good bargains to pick up on the old Pulsechain for day 331. We're about to start day 332, of course. Pulsex at quadruple 0388 up 1.5%. The buy and burn continues to do well. 788.2 billion of Pulsex has been now bought up and burned. 3.87%, which is pretty amazing out of the public supply. And of course, on top of that is the Power City and Liquid Loans that are also taking Pulse and Pulsex off the market in big numbers. Incentive token at the moment is up 2.84%. That's $4.81 with the ratio, and this is the one that we're really looking at, is 49,200. Let's see if we can sneak back over 50,000 in the next day or two as we come off the US weekend. And of course, the total amount of incentive tokens, 28.5 million incentive tokens. This is likely to do very well in a month's time as we're expecting a emission reduction in the incentive emissions. So we'll see how we go there. Hex at the moment is at 90, just under 99 hundredth of a penny, just so close to 1 cent, down 1.5% today. And EHEX is at 18 hundredth of a penny. Combined price of EHEX and PX is at 1.17 cents. Those are the numbers today, and good. Look at them, all of them are good zones to pick up. Lots of goodness there. It speaks for itself. All right, so let's get into Pulsechain charts. As I said, Bitcoin halving coming up 11, 12 days. And of course, then we've got the 1 year loose, weekends to loose out. And of course, maybe it's off to the races after that. So it's going to be pretty fun to see after the 12th of May how we do there with the old Pulsechain bull. Now let's have a look. Let's have a bit of a wider look here with the market. And you can see that we've really got some nice floor support in here. Here we go. And yeah, we've got bullish news in front of us. And once we go, we're going to go out through the other side up and to the right. So at the moment, RSI is pretty low, down 35, 36. So we've got plenty of room for a nice little rally and a good place for accumulation zone at the moment. Let's have a look at the weekly chart here. That's the weekly chart. And of course, you can see on Pulsechain here, down at 44. So a lot of room to move on the weekly chart there. And then let's have one look at the monthly chart as well. That's the monthly chart. No RSI yet. Of course, we're not up to 12 months, so we have to wait for that. But there we are, about to, we're going to power off here. It's going to be fun to see. All right, so that is pretty much on Pulsechain. Pulsex is a similar story. Obviously, the RSI down pretty chill, around 37. And here we got nice consolidation in this range as well, which we've seen had some previously support here as well back in January. And always back in July and June last year as well. So good times. I think it's a pretty good level to rally off, a good place to accumulate as well. Incentive token at the moment, like I say, let's look at the ratio. It is currently 49,000. So yeah, if we can get over 50K, pretty much 51K again, we're back up, 61K, then 71K. Those kind of the natural barriers at the moment, resistance there. But this is looking pretty good with that higher low. Look at that. It's really starting to stabilize there. All right, let's go over to PHEX. PHEX has kind of been weaker than expected. Obviously, been a lot of drama around Richard Hart's posts and stuff like that about EHEX. Obviously, a bit of brand stuff there, a bit of fudding people out, bit of big whales early in staking. We've had probably, 3 or 4 whales sell the charts down, things like that. So we have had that sort of resistance. But what does it mean for you? It means a good buying zone. Look at this, all in here. Good buying zone. Let's map that out because this is where we are. Look at that buying zone in here. Look how many times. 1, 2. I mean, all in here. Buying zone, and all in here. Once again, we're repeating it again. So you can decide for yourself, not financial advice. But does that look like a buying zone for you? I mean, look at the pumps out of here. 1, pump number 2 out of here as well. Now, we do obviously have Richard Hart is trying to get a stay on the SEC challenge. So that's still an issue out for us. Well, I think we're going to hear back this month, if I remember rightly. but that's still out there. But in any case, the chart itself is looking very, very good for the old PHEX. RSI is pretty chill as well, down at 37. All right, let's go to EHEX at the moment. EHEX has got a little bit better, I think, the narrative with the old BankHex 700 million coming over the bridge and going into Omnis with I think the sell wall still there, providing liquidity, let's say, between 0.0074 and 0 and 1.4 cents, basically, which is lower than it was sitting in the LP on Uniswap. It was over 1.2 cents, all of it. So I think that's probably good news there. I haven't checked it today, but last time I checked it was still there. So that's kind of the good news. That gives a bit more upside for EHEX, potentially up to 3.2 cents before we get up to that next sell wall. So definitely it's got some upside there because we're only at below 2/10 of a penny. So that's a lot of upside from there. 3.2 divided by 0.2. That's 16x from here. So there's plenty of room for some price rises. Can I get it? Yeah. I mean, that's what's happening there. Well, let's have a look at the combined price of EHEX and PX on the old investex.io. And once again, once we get past the 3 cents, man, it's going to be off to the races. So keep a lookout for that chart. It really is going to be fun times once we do that, when it does happen. Maybe it's going to be from May onwards. Don't get too fuddled out there. It can rally back up pretty quickly, and I think next time it's off to the races. Really is. If it doesn't happen next time, then it's going to happen another time. But that's the most likely time it will probably happen now. All right, so let's get into it. We got day 33.1. Let's have a look at the gas prices racing through today. 300,000 beats, so we're about 50% above the normal beats, normally around just over 200,000 beats. We're at 1 cent for a Pulsechain swap at the moment, so super cheap to do trades on Pulsechain. 600th of a penny for a Pulse coin transfer, 2/10 of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. And of course, those are the copies of Ethereum assets back on the 10th of May last year at 10:36 UTC time. Currently, look at this. I mean, we've got Gwei on Ethereum is actually pretty cheap at the moment, 13 Gwei. And of course, 1,500 times. Pulsechain still, even at 13 Gwei on Ethereum, Pulsechain is still 1,500 times cheaper than Ethereum. So how about that? It's a pretty good place. And of course, you can see the comparison in 1 cent to do a Pulsechain swap, but up to $16 to do a swap on Uniswap. So I know where Pulsechain is definitely the better place to do business. Validators, so let's have a look at those. 49,339 validators here, sitting at 1.58 trillion of Pulse off the market. No change there, really. We've had a couple more validators enter yesterday. That's about it. Looking at the bridge with the health check, $125 million through the bridge. DAI has pretty much stayed the same for the last couple of days, 40.6 million. USDC at 22.4, USD Tether at 15.4. I haven't checked the Pulse alerts. It's always a good way to check what money is coming back coming onto Pulsechain and off Pulsechain. There's Pulse alerts on X social platform. Definitely check that out if you like to follow that sort of stuff. Once again, we've got Coast at $4 million, and we've got some news around Coast, so we're going to bring that up. We've got some news around Coast. Coast is sitting at $4 million. Now, obviously, the service to deposit and withdraw had frozen for the time being, while they look for some more financial services. They have one point of failure, right? When you only got one financial agency to facilitate the money side of things, that's your point of failure, right? So, but they have been diligently, hardworkingly trying to get back up their service, and bigger and better than ever, right? So they had an important update today. We have been forced to move back our relaunch by at least several weeks. It's a very complex and fluid situation, they say. You all deserve some details. Here they are. We had completely integrated one new bank partner, but they had a compliance plus a depository dependency that they didn't disclose during the due diligence, something we only discovered when we got production keys, which is fair enough. And that dependency isn't something we can accept, so we have terminated the contract. Further, the second bank partner we were working with was actually found out to have the same dependency, so that relationship is being terminated as well. This was an extremely difficult decision for us to make, given we signed a contract, paid setup fees, and have spent 5 weeks integrating. So a bit of a cost in there as well for the team. Now, the good news, we have signed a MDNDA with a new provider, and we will find out by April the 12th. So that's only, 4 days away, if we can move forward with them. If so, it will be a tier 1 depository organization in the USA with multi-currency support for 26 currencies. So that's a real powerhouse there, that addition of 20, up to 26 currencies. So that could be really, really good for Pulsechain, really, really good. just opens up all these more users in that sense. We will make a formal announcement with a timeline during the week of April the 15th. Until then, we're now able to move funds either internally or externally for compliance reasons, since we no longer have access to Fortress or Cross River Bank. Sincere apologies for the continued delays. That wasn't an easy decision, but we're moving forward with the agreement we had in place would have put Pulsechain users at regulatory risk, and we couldn't accept that. We believe you all deserve the best solution, so we're making sure that what you get is good, basically. Talk soon. So that was pretty cool. 4,500 views on that. Had some nice little feedback from the community members there. Even Crypto Coffee himself says, thanks for the transparency. Sounds incredibly frustrating. Keep pushing the new bank with 26 currencies. Sounds like it will be a big win. So that was a pretty good comment there. We've got many other comments there in the house as well. So that is it from Coasts. And of course, we're still sitting at 4 million, so we won't really be able to increase. That's the only direct fiat on-ramp to Pulsechain at the moment. So obviously that is in limbo though. So we're waiting for that to get back up as well. Now USDL, the other native coins, USDL is at 17.3 million and PXDC at just under 7.6 million at the moment with the PUSD Earn protocol. So that is the highlights today for day 331. And of course, we'll look at these asset prices. They're just actually getting a little bit of greenness in them at the moment. We'll see what happens to them in the coming week because things are getting closer and closer to Bitcoin halving. Could give it a nice little oomph in the house for that. All right, that's pretty cool. Let's jump over to some of the derivatives for Hex and Hedron. Looks like at the moment we've got Hedron on Pulsechain, Icosa down today. Hedron on Ethereum is down as well, but Icosa on Ethereum is actually up 9.9%, which is nice to see, but only one trade in there from the looks of it at the moment, if I'm using the right one there. It's got Icosa Hedron. Let's jump over to where are we going here? We're going to the influencer coins. We've got Access Alive. Let's have a look down here. So the only thing that's kind of positive there is Note Token from Randy Alaska is up a little bit there, 0.2%. And BitBoy Ben Armstrong is up 6% on V1. There's V1 Ben. We're waiting for him to bring over V2 to Pulsechain. I'm sure that's going to be exciting when he does that. What else we've got going here? Pulsechain memes is what have we got in that list. Pulsechain memes, SHIB and Pepe. So SHIB is up 3% and Pepe is up 7%. I don't know how much love they've been getting because there have been so many influencer coins jumping on, but they've definitely been doing pretty well. In fact, getting back to that, we're going to have a look at something else there. We've got so many now. We've got My Life is Awesome with 420 out there, Access Alive, Randy Alaski, what's it, the Hexy Bastard, Trayvon with more token. Even Crispy Man now has launched a token. So both 420 and Hexify are both the new influencer coins that just come out in the last day or two. So lots of activity there. When Superman meme coin? Or just stay tuned. You never know. All the faithful followers out there, you just never know what might happen soon. So get out there, folks. Oh, did I just slip something? I don't know. We go. Anyway, we got stable coins. Look at that. Now stable coins were absolutely rallying. Meme coins and stable coins the last couple of days. Now stablecoins have just calmed down for a little bit just to let that RSI cool off, right? The RSIs were getting pretty hot, and so they've been cooling off. Gives you a chance to re-enter if you wanted to pick up some of these speculative meme coins. Stable coins. And of course, if you're into the maker theory, then it's bullish. And so far, the price is price. You take the price. The price tells you what's happening, right? The chart takes the information, and at the moment, it's been moving up. And of course, PDI got so close to 1 cent. It got up to 91/100th of a penny, and of course, look at that chart. That's on the weekly. That's the weekly chart there on the PDI. You can see it's overheated on the weekly, and of course on the daily. Let's have a look at the daily. Daily, it's just cooling off. It was up at 77. Anything over 70, remember, is overbought, and of course, it's still relatively high at the moment. Elevated. Let's call it elevated today at 69 on the RSI, but just coming off there quite nicely, having a nice little cool off. Already bounced off 63/100th of a penny. 65/100th of a penny, and now is up pretty high here. So it's got higher lows at the moment, and that's at 74/100th penny on the daily. So that's actually kind of looking good. And of course, you guys know this thing wants to go to 1 cent. It wants to do it. You know how it works in crypto. It wants to go up to 1 cent. So there we go. And of course, when it gets to 1 cent, then you got the narrative of 10 cents, and it's faster to get to 10 cents from 1 cent. You have a little resistance and support period, but then off to the races it goes. So we're going to be watching this with a lot of fun. We have been enjoying this price chart. But hey, look, PUSD, PDI, not the only one moving up. We've also seen the other two, what do you call them, the brother and sister? I don't know. USD Tether and USDC have also been rising, but lagging behind them. And of course, they're a lower entry to get in, 4200th of a penny for USD Tether and 4400th of USDC. And of course, they're both cooling off at the moment as well. So yeah, definitely both, all of them down about 6 to 7% today. But definitely something to look out for. They're going to make another move, maybe earlier this week. We'll keep a lookout for that. So that's pretty cool. I haven't got added on my top PRC 20s yet. Got to still do that. But let's jump over to our third category. Before we do, though, let's get into the chat. Say hello to a few more people. We're going to get into the what's hot and what's not section on Pulsechain now with all these other cryptos, including all the DGM ones that just keep launching all the time. Let's see who else has jumped in here. We've got Steve Wright, Santa Barbara. Hello, Superman. Steve Wright, Santa Barbara. I got a front run you on that, Steve. Before I even read it, I front run you on that. Wookie says Wookie is as hard as a runestone. Nice one there, Wookie. Yeah, hey, look, someone has copied the runestones on Bitcoin, and I think it was Execute. He's I guess a common member of both communities, and he's dropped runestones from the looks of it to 112,000 Pulsechains out there. So that's going to be runestones on Pulsechain. Not bad idea. We'll see what happens to them in the future. Brian's in the house there, our community leader. Amazing. So, what's up, folks? Good to see you, Brian. Always a pleasure and a distinguished honor. How about that? Dave says, if we haven't learned anything from Richard Hart, strong hands wins. That's right. And that's a really good message today. You know, Bitcoin halving 12 days away, mega bullish for Pulsechain. 12 months to, loose hands. That's by May, so that'll be about 3 weeks or so after the Bitcoin halving. Game on, right? Game on, and get excited for it. Accumulate. It might take a bit longer than people expected, but we'll get there in the end. And you guys know that it's always getting that timing in the market there is very important for bull market gains. Pineapples in the house there, 2025. Woohoo! Yeah, well, we're hoping we have an extended bull market well into 2025. Like I said to you, I think that if Trump wins the election, then freedom is going to be back on the playing field, and we'll also get good economic management. So yeah, I'm bullish about that. Let's see if we can get on some honest elections there. Pineapple says, how much exactly the bank sell will? So Hex will be down many years. You missed my commentary. The Pineapple talked about it being an ominous at the moment, so it's over there on its own liquidity pools. It will benefit from Batias or anything else that's routing index aggregation through that, but I haven't looked at it in about 2 days, so I need to check up on that. But that is the last time we saw it, so it's actually not sitting on Ethereum anymore. Wookie's back fur is hot, says Wookie. Nice one there, Wookie. Thanks for completely random comments in the chat. We always appreciate it. All right, let's get into the top 24 hours on Pulsechain. Now, we've done $22.7 million in volume the last 24 hours. Obviously, US is in Sunday. It's kind of a holiday. So there we go. I saw yesterday we're up at like 43 million or something. So we've basically halved that since that time in like half a day. So we're at 22.7 million, 300,000 transactions on Pulsechain. Let's get into, what do we got? Oh, block. Look at the latest block on Pulsechain, 20 million, it says here. I guess so. Anyway, let's get into some of this. We've got Burn. This Burn token's popped up. 5,000% in there. Very small liquidity, 6,200. Every day there's like these little projects getting launched. You got to be careful with the contracts, so make sure they're not honeypots or anything else like that. But a lot of people are playing these like real DGing, right? Every day they're trying to jump into it early, make some gains. Next day, jump into another one, make some gains. And this is the play, right? Whether it's doing $50 or $100 or whatever they put in, trying to make a couple X's and then, put that into the next best thing. So there's lots of that going on at the moment on the old Pulsechain. We've got Icarus there, which launched the other day, is up almost at $1 there. That's up 346%. So I think that's actually doing pretty well. Yeah, look at that. That chart there is still looking pretty good on the old Icarus. Not too bad as well. Now we can actually go to the website and have a quick look at that. I'm not endorsing any of these, of course. We're just having a quick look. Yeah, we did cover this quickly the other day. So you got lots of coins like this, just jumping one after another. There's a new one here, Tard, from the looks of it. It's up 227%. So let's have a look at this one. Yeah, only a couple of days old. Got sold, all pumped, and then sold down, and it's pumped up today on the old Tard there. What else there? ZKZX. So one of the actual utilities. So instead of just meme coin type projects, ZKZX, the Tornado Cash Fork, is actually up 34% today. So that's actually a pretty nice move. to finally see one of the utility tokens actually in the top leaderboard, which is where most of them should be, right? But this is crypto. A lot of people like to speculate, so that's why we get meme coin booms. And every cat and dog is making the meme coin out there. That's one way to describe influencers, isn't it? Cats and dogs. Anyway, you guys didn't hear me say that. All right, so there we go. I'll probably have a clip now, and it'll be on like X social platform or something like that. Anyway, so there we are at the moment. We've got a couple updates here on the old ZKX. So making a nice little rebound here. This is the only utility one actually in the leaderboard today, up on 24% in 3 days. Not too bad, not too shabby. There on the tornado cash. Let me know in the chat there if any of you have used it. Let me know in the chat there if you have. Just type in ZKZX if you have used that actual tornado cash fork. You don't have to if you don't want it, but if you don't mind, you can let us know. All right, so what else there? We've got some of these others up 20-30% actually there. Fugazi, Blast, etc. Now SolidX is this one that was I think launched by not sure who launched it exactly, but it's between Axis Alive and Randy. You guys can let me know in the chat if some of you have followed that in closer. But it's hit $50. Yes, it did. I think it was it the first one launched on maybe it's even Hexy Bastard. Was it the first one launched on 9mm? Because it's on 9mm exchange. It's number 1, 2 under viewership here on Pulsechain today. So this is a real winning there, big time. Seems to have support from Randy, Axis, and probably Hexy Bastard. So there we go. At 51. Now there was drama about this one, right? SolidX with Soy Somi, because Somi was going to put a sell wall up or something like that. They gave him a whole ton of coins, and then he basically was going to put a sell wall on it. I guess influencers don't like getting called soy anything, right? So that's probably the case there. Anyway, look at this chart. That's pretty epic, this chart, isn't it? So doing pretty amazing there. Big shout out to Randy, Axis, and Hexy Bastard, and that. They certainly have made a beautiful chart here. The market cap is $1 billion. So don't say that you don't get $1 billion projects launching on Pulsechain, because this has made $1 billion inside only just over a week, 10 days maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. 8 days. So in just over a week, $1 billion market cap for good old SolidX. So congratulations for those that are in it. They do have a Telegram group, so you can check that out. But there we go. Well done to them. I'll give them a rocket for that one. It's got a whole ton of red flags. I'm not sure why, and Pooh's there, but who knows why that is. All right, so that is some of the action that's been happening as well. Let's have a look at anything else that's looking particularly good. Up token is up 12%, so Liquid Loans project there from Haunted. And what else there? I think he did a live stream with Crypto Heartbeat the other day, if you want to check that out. I think it was on Crypto Heartbeats there. Pepe, the big meme coin, up 10.5%, so that's kind of moving a little bit on the old Pepe there. And, of course, one of the most famous charts on Pulsechain, I would say, PGGC, the Grays currency, sort of a DAO investment program there as well, along with DAO staking plus taxes plus, the alien token as well they've got, which helps burn Grays. So that's up 9.8%. Let's have a quick look into that and see how that's looking on the old chart there. Yeah, nice little U-turn on this chart here. And I can imagine it's just going to try and go back up to that top there. So it had nice little support in the zone here, and off to the races it looks like it's happening again. All right, let's see. That's the leaders there. Let's go look at the Pepe as well. We're here. Might as well do it. And that's up the last 2 days. So Pepe is finally making a bit of a move off the bottom there. Obviously, there's lots of competition going on with all these influencer meme coins at the moment. So Pepe, even though it's a big PRC 20 that's been copied, it's only just starting to gain a bit more traction again on the looks of it. All right, so that is pretty much it out of all the leaders. What are we going to do next? I was going to talk about something, wasn't I? Yeah, it was. Just a little bit of spec here. There's a little bit of, I give all the tip of the day, maybe the incentive token tip of the day, but let's do 2 tips of the day. Looks like here, this is not even on Pulsechain. We actually got Pulsechain here. PZen X1 chain is coming. It's getting closer and closer. And, they're about to do their test, a run sheet for the test net. So they're going to be taking down 2 test nets, fast test net and the other test net. I've just forgotten the name. But they're going to be doing a test net with the new test net, and of course getting prepared for launching X1, which will be probably the most futuristic chain on blockchain with, as I understand it, the first AI consensus chain. as well as Eigenlayer and many other technologies in there. And of course, unforkable as well. So people that hate Jake Levin might be able to fork it. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Anyway, PZen has been pretty profitable for those minting, and it's as you can see, it's been pumped multiple times. But look at this, wow, up again today, almost 100% up today, and this thing's looking pretty good. Anyway, so there we are, PZen. But the tip of the day, besides PZen, is the fact that Zen is finally starting to moon here. This is on Ethereum, not related to Pulsechain, of course, but on Ethereum. Now, I cover this generally on Superman Crypto, but we're going to cover it today as a bit of a tip of the day. But look at this. This is going pretty much, obviously benefiting from X1 coming up and potentially the pool party as well. Like I say, we'll chock full with those tokenomics. Now, there's going to be 3 tokens. Obviously, XN is the main coin for X1. You get that. You can get that several ways through burning Zen, for example. You can get it also through participating in second party protocols like DXN, things like that. You can also get the secondary token XNM through mining on the testnet, and you can then XMM tokens there. That's going to be used for inscriptions. Yes, another feature of X1 will be the embracing of inscriptions and those kind of ordinal things. Sort of like smart contracts on top of X1, if you want to look at it that way. Quasi smart contracts, just tokens and stuff like that. And then, of course, they're also going to have XUni blocks that you can earn mining as well. And that's going to be used for, you guessed it, the XUni swap. It's going to have its own DEX as well. So it's going to be chock full of things. Eigenlayer, staking non-X1 tokens like Ethereum accepting on X1. It's going to be a huge, huge thing. So it really is starting to get the early days. A lot of the heavy inflation is out for the time being. There's another inflation wave in July. But other than that, it really is starting to take off here. You can see here is looking pretty good. Let's look at the 4 hourly. That was kind of the main place that you can see on the 4 hourly. We're getting a bullish cross between the 13 and 34 moving average. And we've just got a bullish cross here right now on the 4 hourly. How's that going to play out into the daily? Because the daily is got a bearish cross still playing out, but I think it's about to turn. I think it's about to turn because the 4 hours is turning, and we've got a turn there. And then, because that leads us into the week. Everyone is looking at the weekly cross here for Zen, the if we're ever down coin. Was it Jack Levin that said a famous quote about I'm the only one that can make or something like this, the 99.99% down coin that goes bullish or something, or where you make money. That's it. 99.99% down coin that you can still make money on. That's the idea. So anyway, you can see here we haven't really had a cross. We almost got one back in July, but look at this now. Look at that playing out there. That is looking like it's getting closer and closer to a mega bullish cross. If it does cross this and it crosses over the 34, you could be looking at a 10 to 40x there with the inflation. Obviously, we've got a big inflation candle still, the last ones to come out in July, a little bit in September, but apart from that, we've just come through the biggest wave in March, so pretty bullish. Now, if you want to find out more about stuff like this, get into our Discord under our strategy club. That's multi-chain. And of course, the link's in the video description. It's $30 a month, but get into all that, and we're going to talk about this and much, much more. So there's a lot of stuff happening in the space, and you want to be able to get in it early. So that's a little tip of the day. 2 tips: 1, incentive token, and 2 is Zen on the move. So let's see how we go here in the next couple of days and weeks ahead. It's going to be a lot of fun. Join our Discord strategy club today. Links in the video description there. All right, that's pretty much it. 45 minutes. We've gone down from doing about an hour and 15 to 45 minutes lately. Just the way it goes. Just depends on the news flow. Let's see who else is in the chat here. We've got... let's see. We've got back down there. Pineapple says, does anyone know how much the initial price of SolidX during its first day trading? Well, you can actually find that on the chart. So let's go back and have a look for that. Just while you're here. I probably should have looked at that when I was going through it. Let's go through SolidX, and what does it say? What did I have it on before? The daily. So it's saying here the opening price was 1/10 of a penny on the opening day. So that's down here. Down here. There we go. Down there. 1/10 of a penny. Where is it? One there. Up in there. So that is the one there. Let's have a look at the hourly. I think it was coming up funny for some reason. Yeah, opening one. That was the low. Sorry, the opening. Sorry, my bad. The opening was 73/100th of a penny. 73/100th of a penny was the opening there. I was reading the low price. All right, so that is it on solids. I think we covered that one. What else? We got the US was dancing to DJ Cryptomatic this afternoon. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, he's doing a great job there with the music. I know that Wookie is a big personality over there. Any coins launching soon on Pulsechain segment? Well, we just keep a lookout for. We do have a couple of coins like around. Well, they're still a little while away, but they're seeing a lot of coins just get launched day to day. If you just watch that list that I was showing you earlier, hit me up in Discord, or we can show you the list of that, the link to that. Otherwise, you've got to just follow the teams pretty closely, like Tangang, and depending on what sort of tokens you're into. If you're into project teams, utilities, or sort of meme coin pumpermentals, or teams that are trying to add a cumulative value by launching multiple tokens. So it just depends on what you're into. Tintop's in the house there. What's up, Hexkins? Good to see you, Tintop. Yeah, I haven't just back to this one. I haven't really got there's a lot of projects that haven't launched yet. They've got lots of projects, so I haven't really kept because that's what the format I used to do. But it's just not as clear anymore, Pineapple, there. That's why I haven't been following so strictly to that anymore. But we're doing our best to cover the tokens as they launch. What else there? We've got D-Hex in the house there. Howdy, y'all. Hex and Pulsexkins. Woo! Good to see you, D-Hex. Welcome as well. Yeah, that is a link there. If you want to join Strategy Club, join up using Wookie's link. It's pretty good. Pumpkin Owl says, I'm having an issue connecting to Pulsechain to see my peers on the farms. Is there any front-end way embedded than Panata or desktop? You mean Patius? Besides Patius or the desktop download? Issue connecting Pulsechain to see my peers on the farms. Yeah, get into our Discord under the crypto helpline. Put that question in there. Someone might be able to help you there. Wookie's saying there was an update about a week back, so that might be an issue too. All right, 47 minutes. I think it's a good place to finish. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself out there. Still accumulation zone for Pulsechain. It's taken a bit longer than some people would have liked, but like I say, we've got Bitcoin halving coming up in 12 days. And I think, at least from May onwards, it could be extremely bullish for Pulsechain and your chance to keep accumulating at some of these prices, particularly Pulsex, which could be a pretty amazing incentive token. Hex as well. There's a lot of upside there at the moment. And, of course, Pulsechain's still looking pretty strong around the mean sacrifice price in terms of Pulsecoin. And, of course, there's plenty of other projects, particularly meme coins, influencers, coins that you can speculate on if you want to put a little bit into that. Obviously, generally, I suggest putting into utilities and things like that. Once again, it's up to your risk-return profile. Having a diversified portfolio is very important. Stops you from getting wrecked just on one project, particularly if it has, some contract issues like honeypots and things like that. So just take care of the use your common sense, be wise, and pick up a lot of the golden cryptos, as we say. And of course, we like Richard Hart ones in particular. Not financial advice, do your own due diligence, all that good stuff. I'll catch you again on the next live stream. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you then. Let's play out the most amazing thing that we can have this year, Magic Up Ride. All right, peace out. Bye for now.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.